Morning, Rabbi. Say good morning, good morning. First of all, big mazel tov to Rabbi Rish over here. Gavaldik, Chazdei Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. It's a simchas by everyone. Be'ezus Hashem. So, Rabbi said we're about to start. We're embarking on a journey from now all the way until Yom Tov. We've got tremendous amount of Yom Tov coming up. Haba Aleinu L'Tova. I want to go through some of the minhagim, some of the halachos that are nageya, starting of course from Keseda. We're going to go Keseda. I was thinking about doing it the other way around maybe. Maybe we'll start with Sukkah and then we'll get to Rosh Hashana before, closer to the time. But I said let's just go Keseda, much easier. We're going to start with the halachos of Erev Rosh Hashana itself of course, Yom Tov, Asas Tshuva, Erev Yom Kippur, the halachos of Yom Kippur, the halachos of Sukkah, Daled Minim. So basically from now until Sukkot, we're going to be going through all of the halachos that are very nageya. I get these shalos all the time from the Oidam and I'm like, where were you during halachos here? We discuss all of the halachos that are nageya, be'ezus Hashem, at least the most practical ones. Of course we can't do into every detail of every single different shaila, but we try to skim through as much as we can so that the Oidam understands what needs to be done, what is done, how it's done, and how best should it be done, be'ezus Hashem, for all of the Yomim Tovim, of course including Yomim Nedarim, Haba Aleinu L'Tova, Rosh Hashana. And also we have this year a unique Gevaldige Shaila, which is of course Erev Tavshilin, which applies many times over the next few weeks, Be'ezus Hashem, for B'nai Chutz La'aretz. So that's very, very exciting to discuss the inyanim of Erev Tavshilim. We'll get to Be'ezus Hashem next week, B'siyata D'Shmaya. So, let's go Keseda through some of the things that are about to come upon us in the next few days. So first of all, Elul in general, we spoke a little bit about Elul, but just to continue that sugya, people use the opportunity of Elul for saying Tehillim. Many people finish the whole Tehillim twice over Elul itself. There's an inyan to be marbe in Limud HaTorah, and specifically Limud HaMusa. There's a big inyan to learn Mishnayos, of course, as well. Many bring down the inyan to check your tefillin. Also, during Elul, people go to Gedolim in order to receive brachas before Yomim Noroim in that case. Now, Selichos, the Maisa begins always the Motzei Shabbos. Always begins on a Motzei Shabbos. Why that is? Because you have the Kedusha of Shabbos that comes together. There's other reasons as well, because of Simcha. But on Kapanim, we always start Selichos, Motzei Shabbos before Rosh Hashanah. However, we also need a minimum of 4 days, like a Badika of a Korban. Like a Korban needs to be checked 4 days before. So too, we need to be checked 4 days minimum before Rosh Hashanah, which would come out, for example, last year, when Rosh Hashanah fell Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was, we had to start the Rosh Hashanah, the Motzei Shabbos before that already. That means it gives us an extra long time to say Selichos. This year, we have only a few days, because we have Rosh Hashanah already on Thursday, Friday, which means that we start the Motzei Shabbos before. So next Motzei Shabbos, Rabbi Isai, it's coming up. Next Motzei Shabbos is already Selichos, a few days before Rosh Hashanah, Be'ezus Hashem. We'll talk about that on the night of Selichos. We'll talk about that on Rosh Hashanah, exactly what that means and how it's negated to us. But do remember that Selichos is a very, very important opportunity for us to be able to do tshuva. Of course, we should be doing tshuva the ganze Chodesh Elul, and we should be trying to take advantage of every moment of Elul. But sometimes, doesn't go so well, but some come Selichos, we start to realize that this is our opportunity. We spoke Friday night. Was it Friday night we spoke about Rabbeinu Yonah, right? Was it Friday night we spoke about Rabbeinu Yonah? About the Rabbeinu Yonah, about the guy in prison. Oh, yeah, it was, right? We mentioned that Friday night, the idea of chapping around, because otherwise we're left behind and we get hit by that guy, Rabbeinu Yonah tells us, who didn't escape out of prison. He had the opportunity to do tshuva and he didn't do that, which is why very, very important. People also sometimes skip Ashrei, right? You ever notice that? Like, okay, Ashrei, say that's not important, whatever. We'll get to the Ikka of the Selichos, right? It's brought down in the Sforim HaKadoshim that the Ikka Takonu is really for Ashrei, and while they were saying Ashrei, they chapped around other things also at the same time. Don't skip Ashrei, right? Ashrei is a Gevaldige Zach. Don't skip it. We say Selichos here at the night, but if for whatever reason you miss it and you'll be saying Selichos in the morning, make sure you say Birchas HaTorah before Selichos. The Birkei Yosef brings down how important it is for a person to say Selichos b'kavana and slowly. Don't say it fast. They asked once from Chaim Kanievsky's Zatzal, what happens if I can't keep up with the Olam? The Olam are going too quick. What do I do? I can't do it. So I should chap, I should skip. What do I do? So Chaim Kanievsky said, Avada not. He said, Avada just rather go through 1 or 2 paragraphs slowly with kavana, especially if you buy the art scroll, you can even see the English. That's even better than flying through everything. However, Yud Gimel Midas, right, the Hashem, the Yud Gimel Midas that we say, that is also for a person to say below kavana, that you have to say with kavana, and it's also to say on your own. You're meant to say it with the tzibur, which means if you're in the middle of a paragraph of Selichos, and all of a sudden the Olam, or by Vayavo, they're about to say the Yud Gimel Midas, they're about to say Hashem Hashem, stop where you are, say the Yud Gimel Midas, say Hashem Hashem with the Olam, and then continue back to where you were. Very common shaila that the Olam asked at that time over there. It is an inyan for a person, that your Rabbah brings it, the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, for a person to stand for the entire Selichos. It's definitely a choshev inyan to stand for the whole Selichos if you can. If for whatever reason that you're feeling sick, you're feeling tired, whatever it is, and you're not going to have good kavanah by standing for the whole time, so then in Achanami you can sit for the actual Selichos, but obviously for the Kel, Melech, Rachamim, and the Yud Gimel Midas, and the Vidui, make sure that you are for sure standing in that case. So that's pretty much the inyonim when it comes to Selichos. Let's continue. Moving on now to Erev Rosh Hashana. Okay, Erev Rosh Hashana is of course an extra long Selichos. It's the longest Selichos that we have on Erev Rosh Hashana. Once again, here we do it at night. Some people do it early in the morning. But there is a very big inyan to daven extra long Selichos on Erev Rosh Hashana. The reason for that is, there are many reasons. One of the main reasons is it's the last day of the year. If it's the last day of the year, Chazal tell us, if you do tshuva on the last day of the year, it's as if you did tshuva the ganze year, which means that's a gewaldige zach. So that's why the last day of the year we chap around with a long slichas, and therefore enochanami, it's long, takes time, but lemaisa it's worth it because it gives us the opportunity to do tshuva to Rabban Shalom on the last day of the year, which is important. The Torah brings down, it's a rishon, the Torah brings down the minig, and that's the minig over here in Yeshiva, is we fast on Erev Rosh Hashana. We fast on Erev Rosh Hashana. The reason for that is many reasons. Again, tshuva, and therefore we do tshuva on the last days if we did tshuva the whole year. But also the Torah brings down that if we fast on Erev Rosh Hashana, it is as if we get forgiven for half of all, a third of all averis. A third of all averis. So boom, there you have it. Erev Rosh Hashana, it's a fast. It's only a half day fast. The minig is that you daven mincha gedola. You daven mincha, whatever time it is, 1:05, whatever the time is, you say anenu, and then you break your fast. That's what we do here in Yeshiva. And Chazal tell us again, the Torah brings it down very clearly, you get forgiven for a third of all your averis. Boom. Before you even enter Rosh Hashanah, a third of your averis are gone because you didn't have a breakfast on Erev Rosh Hashanah, and that is what we do. It's an important thing. In a Chanami, people are weak, people can't manage. Okay, you don't have to fast. It's not a chiyuv, it's not an absolute chiyuv. If you can't manage, Seder, but Akaponim, we definitely try to do it. It's not so long, it's not so bad for a person to do that. We try to do that over here. The other minig as well on Erev Rosh Hashana is of course Hataras Nedarim, which save us from the oynish of Nedarim. The Shlach Kodesh brings in Mesechtes Yoma, the Chai Odom, the Mateh Ephraim, the Derech Chaim, the Nesivos, the Kavachim, and others, that we do Hataras Nedarim on Erev Rosh Hashana. The reason that we do that, says the Rosh Yosef and the Rafal Lev, is because we want a person to come into the new year without any shavuos, without any Nedarim. In fact, there's another reason to do it also. Al Pi the Orach Chaim HaKodesh in Parashas Bechukoisai, when the Orach Chaim HaKodesh has 48 pshatim in Parashas Bechukoisai, Perish number 5, hey, of the 48 that the Orach Chaim HaKodesh brings, is that before you take on chumras, make sure you do Me'ikah Adin. So it doesn't look so good that you walk into the new year and you've got all these Nedarim and all these Shavuos when you're not even doing Me'ikah Adin. That's why we do our Hataras Nedarim and Erev Rosh Hashanah. That's one of the reasons. And therefore we want to walk in to the new year without any Chumras and Nedarim and Shavuos and things like that. And also, it's put down that the aveira of a person not keeping his nedarim actually is ma'akiv his tefillas. So since we want our tefillas to go up Rosh Hashanah, it's very, very important. That is why, that's another reason why we do our Hataras Nedarim in that case over there. There's other Ramazim as well that Shari Tshuva brings for it as well. Rosh Tevis Elul, but Akoponim, the Mateh Ephraim brings, some people do it again on Erev Yom Kippurim, but that's, if it's not your minig, you don't have to do that in that case over there. Moving on, Rabbi Yisrael, again, there's obviously in each of the discussion that we're discussing, there's absolutely tons that we can go through in what it means Hataras Nedarim, why Hataras Nedarim, how does it work Hataras Nedarim, what it means if I did something without making a neder. For example, I went 3 times on a Motzei Shabbos to the Kosel. Is that be'etzem a neder? If it's a neder, if I didn't say bli neder, so does that mean that I have to be Hataras Nedarim for that? Or is that included in what I said by the Kol Nidrei last year on Yom Kippur? These are all shilas that a person has to go into, which we haven't got time because again, I want to get through all of the shilas of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkos, v'chulei. So one last shaila for today is the Shulchan Aruch in Simon Tov Kuf Pei Gimel, which talks about it in the Ramah, which is not to have nuts on Rosh Hashanah. The minig of avoiding nuts, the Ramah says, because the gematria of egois is chet, which is sin, and we don't want to have any remez, any type of any hint to any averas, of course, on Rosh Hashanah. Remember, chet is also gematria chet, which means be careful what you do on Rosh Hashanah. We'll talk about that mitzvah Hashem next time, where we talk about some of the simonim in that case. Now, there are many reasons why, other reasons why we avoid nuts as well. Some say the Maril brings down, it increases saliva, and therefore it's ma'akiv your tefillas. Now, nafkamina would be when you're eating the nuts. If you're eating it after davening, maybe there's no problem whatsoever. Al kaponim, almonds, according to the second reason, could be okay. Peanuts are not included. But again, these are shilas that could be negay also to women that are cooking with food they're cooking already now for Rosh Hashanah, not to include nuts into the food. I've been called almost every year from people who are like, I don't know what to do. My wife made a whole cake for dessert with nuts, but like the minig is not to have nuts. So you have to know anger and hakpoda and all these things are also something to work on during Rosh Hashanah, as the Kavach Chaim says clearly. Be'ez Hashem will discuss at a different time. But these don't mean hogim, these are not isurim, and a person has to know if you're going somewhere to eat and that's what they're serving you. Don't take it, don't eat it, don't make a fast, don't make a whole thing out of it. Fish, the Matir Ephraim says that many have the minig not to eat fish on Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah of Daiga, as always the Matir Ephraim. Some people dafka have the minig because it's a remez or pru-revu. The Vilna Gaon says the minig is not to eat grapes, which the Kavach Chaim said only is talking about black grapes and not green grapes. Again, these are all min hogim, these are not halachos. The minig is to have round challahs on Rosh Hashanah as well. Minig Yisrael Torah brings it down also in the Sefer that the reason is because the whole year has no end, and we want to make sure the Rabban Shem gives us a year without any end. There are other reasons as well, is that it's doimet to the world, which is round, and therefore want the whole world to recognize the Rabbeinu Shalom Azay state in time and Hagim. Be'ez Hashem, next time we're going to go through the simonim that we eat on Rosh Hashanah, what they represent, some more of the halachas of Rosh Hashanah when you have 2 days, and then we're going to get to the sugya of Erev Tavshinin. Have an amazing day.